The White House released a video of a bunch of celebrities saying good stuff about Obama and bidding him farewell. Let's take a look, and then I want to discuss.
When he just changed all the rules on the table in regards to Cuba with the most succinct motivation imaginable, which is what we've been doing hasn't worked, which made all the sense in the world.
My Obama moment was the signing of the Paris Agreement and making the United States a leader in the fight against global warming.
When I was at the UN and I heard our president say that climate change is the most important issue facing not only this generation, but all future generations, it was inspiring.
For me, it was traveling with the president to schools in Boston, and the way he engaged the students was just one of those moments to see him connect like that, that I think you see throughout his presidency.
The CVS experience with Michelle was pretty cool, and dancing with Barack at his birthday party. And he's a good dancer. You know, he should not get any flack for that. You're a good dancer.
He's my role model, my idol, because I want to be president.
When he wished Happy New Year to all the Iranian Americans, and he said Eid Shom Mubarak live on CNN. Perfectly.
Yeah, how often do we remember Jackie Robinson? Everybody does. To me, he would be the Jackie Robinson of politics from my standpoint.
But I have this aversion to these like fluff pieces. I can't stand the obvious propaganda when you got like the happy-go-lucky music in the background and all your favorite people, fucking Michael Jordan and Ellen DeGeneres. Like, let me tell you something about this guy. He was the best fucking president ever. And we're only saying good things here, ladies and gentlemen. We're not going to say anything that's bad. We're not going to say anything that's negative. Like, what the fuck are we doing here? What are we doing here? It's just a fucking out-and-out propaganda video. This is just a more polished version of fucking Putin on his horse with his shirt off. Like, why don't I look good? No, you don't, fucking slapstick dunce boy. Yeah, look at me with my man titties. Aren't I so attractive? No, you look like a doofus. But this is a more sophisticated version of that because you get people who are actually good at, a message and video editing and all that shit. But, so I don't know, I just hate things like this. I don't even disagree with everything they said there. So the whole thing is even more cringeworthy, but... So they said, the Cuba agreement was a good thing. I think that's what Tom Hanks said. Totally agree. Couldn't agree more. I give Obama endless credit on the Cuba deal. It was the right thing to do. The Paris Agreement, same thing. I give him a lot of credit on that, and we should be clear to give Obama credit where he's earned it. His immigration executive order, he gets credit on that. Now, the courts have tied that up, but he was right on that immigration executive order. He's been releasing nonviolent drug offenders. He was right. He's right to do that. He did the Iran deal. He was right. You're right to do that. So there are many areas where I'm going to say, you know what, good job, and it's better to have you in there than, any fucking Republican alternative. No question about that. But here's why this frustrates me. Obama just spent over a year pushing for TPP. TPP, which, yes, would ship out more U.S. jobs, according to the Economic Policy Institute. That's not just me talking. And by the way, every other trade deal has shipped out jobs when they promised that wouldn't happen. So why am I supposed to believe this would be any different? TPP has us cut a deal with Malaysia. Malaysia, quote, tolerates slavery. It allows Brunei in it. Brunei has Sharia law. Mr. Human Rights Defender is like, let's reward a country that does Sharia. We already do it with Saudi. Why not do it with somebody else? So, but that's not discussed. Don't talk about TPP, job-killing TPP. Don't talk about the drone program, which has killed many civilians, and we've even gone as far as bombing Yemeni weddings, thinking it was a fucking Taliban procession or some shit. Don't talk about any of that, even though these things are war crimes. Don't talk about the fact that we're doing 7 different interventions right now, even though that's way more than even under Bush. Don't talk about the fact that we give over $1 billion worth of weapons to Saudi Arabia every single year, and they turn around and use that to massacre civilians in Yemen. Don't talk about the $38 billion we give to Israel as they continue occupation and expansion and apartheid. Don't talk about the increased NSA spying. Obama put that on steroids and human growth hormone. Don't talk about how Obama let Wall Street go and didn't prosecute them. Don't talk about Guantanamo Bay still being open. Now, again, what are the response to? There is no response to this. I mean, the best you can come up with, people will say, but Republicans. But Republicans what? For Guantanamo Bay, it was set up extrajudicially. It's an extrajudicial prison. You know what that means? Outside of the law. Guess what? That which can be set up extrajudicially can be shut down extrajudicially. So you know what I do? I do an executive order and say, I'm going to shut this down. And then when they say no, I'd go take me to court. Take me to court. And I want you on the record. We are for the extrajudicial prison, which doesn't believe in habeas corpus and due process and is against the U.S. Constitution and international law. And you're against it. We are for breaking the law. You are against breaking the law. Thank you. Got it on the record. Appreciate it. Thank you for doing my work for me and getting my message out there as being the good guy and you're the bad guy. So there's so many things, man, that... Look, Obama overall is a mixed bag, and we're going to do a long report card on him very soon. But we need to keep everything in perspective, and you have to be nuanced. Don't do these fluff pieces. Don't do the hero worship. I mean, we still live in a country where 50% of the American people make $30,000 a year or less. We still live in a country where 45,000 people die every year because they don't have access to basic health care. We still live in a country where hundreds of thousands of people are homeless. We still live in a country that doesn't have free college. We still live in a country that doesn't offer paid vacation days and sick days by law. We still live in a country that doesn't have a minimum wage that's a living wage. Spare me your, oh my goodness, this guy is the best ever, and let's do these fucking fluff pieces on him. Let's be adults and try to fix the problems further and keep his legacy in perspective and say there's some good things and there's some bad things.